What's a mind-body illness? You'll have heard it talked about a lot. And when most of us think of illness, we picture something going wrong in the body, an infection, an injury, or a chemical imbalance. We imagine doctors finding a clear cause in blood tests or a scan and giving us treatment that fixes it. But many people live with long-lasting symptoms, pain, fatigue, dizziness, gut problems, anxiety or strange sensations, and medical tests keep coming back as normal. If that's you, it doesn't mean that it's all in your head. It may mean that something deeper is going on, a mind-body illness. A mind-body illness is a real physical condition, but its roots lie in how the mind, emotions, and the nervous system interact with the body. It doesn't mean you're imagining your symptoms, to be clear. They are absolutely real. But the cause isn't damage or disease in the tissues. Instead, it's the body's way of expressing emotional and psychological stress that hasn't yet been fully processed and moved through. Your mind and your body are one system, and for centuries Western medicine treated the body and mind as separate things. The body was physical, the mind was mental, and the two barely spoke. But science now proves that this isn't true. Your thoughts, your emotions, and your nervous system are woven into every organ, cell, and chemical process in your body. When you feel embarrassed, your face flushes. When you're anxious, your heart races. When you're grieving, your chest aches. These are small examples of how mind and body work together. A mind-body illness is this same connection playing out on a bigger scale, often over months, years, and decades. The body responds to emotional and psychological stress as if it were physical danger. If that stress stays unresolved, the body can stay switched on, creating ongoing changes in hormones, nerves, muscles, digestion, and immune function. And those changes eventually show up as physical symptoms. It's important to understand that mind-body symptoms are not random or malicious. They are usually the body's attempt to protect who it thinks you are. If the nervous system senses threat, not just physical danger, but emotional threat like rejection, shame, anger, or overwhelm, it moves into a state of high alert. Muscles tense to prepare for action, digestion slows, and pain signals heighten. In short bursts, this is helpful. It keeps you protected, it keeps you safe. But if the body never gets a signal that the danger is over, it can stay in this state for years. For example, if you learned as a child that expressing anger was unsafe because it was disapproved of, or it actually was dangerous because of what might happen if you expressed this, your body might still tense up every time anger starts to stir, even at a subconscious level. And that tension can become chronic pain. If sadness was never allowed, your body might suppress it so deeply that it becomes fatigue or numbness. And these responses are the body's best attempt to manage feelings that once felt just too big for the younger you to handle. Much of how the body responds today relies on past experience. It's shaped by what happened in the past. Trauma, to be clear, doesn't only mean major events. It can also mean the small moments of fear, shame, neglect that built up over time. If you had to hide your feelings to stay safe or loved, connected, your body learned to hold them back over time. And over time, this held back emotional energy doesn't just disappear. It can reshape how your nervous system works and how your body feels. And that's why somebody with a history of stress or trauma may develop chronic pain without any injury, or gut problems without any infection. The body is carrying the weight of old experiences and expressing them now in the only way it knows how, physically. It's not all in your head, because one of the hardest parts of having a mind-body illness is the fear that it means your suffering isn't real. But nothing could be further from the truth. The body is real. The symptoms are real. The science is clear that emotions, thoughts, and stress can change how cells behave, how nerves fire, and how organs function. And understanding that your illness has a mind-body basis, a component, is not about blaming yourself. It's about seeing that your body is intelligent. It's doing, or was doing, the best job to protect you and bring these hidden things into awareness so that it can finally be healed. And in fact, what you're experiencing now is the body's attempt to try and update you. So what's the first step towards healing? Well, the good news is that because these conditions are created through the mind-body connection, they can also heal through the mind-body connection. Healing is not about trying to force your symptoms to stop. It's not about trying to make them go away or to calm yourself down. It's about creating safety to allow these feelings to surface and helping your body learn that it no longer needs to protect you in the old ways by avoiding and suppressing the truth of your instinct and your emotions. So practices like allowing, gentle awareness and structured daily rhythms in a schedule helps the system feel safe enough to change. And over time, the protective patterns that created symptoms can unwind, unfreeze, and the body will slowly return to balance. In short, a mind-body illness is not imaginary and it is not your fault. It is the body's intelligent physical response to emotional stress, unresolved experience, and survival patterns that once kept you safe. Your symptoms are your body's language, and by learning to listen, learning to allow, you begin the journey not just back to health, but back to wholeness.